Hey everyone, S-Dub Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel video here on the channel. I like to stop and take the time to rank all Netflix Marvel heroes ranked from worst to best. Please note that everything that I say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list, it is just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of every Marvel Netflix hero ranked from worst to best, or you could just do your favorite. Please keep in mind that I did not include Night Nurse or any of the other side characters. I didn't want to include them because I didn't want to make the list too long. I just added in Elektra in my original draft in this video. Elektra was not in the mix. So just keep in mind that I do not hate any of these characters. I actually love all of them. Just some of them have some weak points in these shows. So without further ado, let's get into my ranking. Kicking off my list at number 8, we have Misty Knight from Luke Cage. Now, she's actually a very interesting character. At the beginning, we actually see her in this club. She has like this revealing dress. She sleeps with Luke Cage a little bit. Then we find out that she's a detective, and they really don't reference that night anymore. It's kind of weird that they don't reference it. Like, even when they meet later on in that season, like after that night, they still don't reference it. It's kind of weird. But she really doesn't have this compelling character arc. She really doesn't have this compelling character. She has a lot of, she has a lot of connections to Cottonmouth, and she has a lot of connections to the Pops character in the first season, but other than that, what else is there to her? So then when she gets inside of the Defenders, she becomes a little bit more prominent. She gets she gets a huge role, and then her arm gets cut off. And then we move into Iron Fist, where her character arc gets a lot better, and she actually deals with and struggles with not having her arm. So Danny Rand gave her a new arm, and she has to learn to adjust to that new arm, and that's one of the things that I really like. I really liked her in Iron Fist because she was actually struggling with her new arm, and she was struggling without an arm, and that's one of the things that made Iron Fist Season 2 so great. But as of right now, the way things have ended, her character has to come in at last place. Coming in at number 7 for me has got to go to Danny Rand, the Iron Fist from Iron Fist. Now, I'm actually glad that he cut his hair. He had his whole little hobo look going on. I get it. He was away for a long time with monks and everything like that, chilling with the monks. But I like the fact that he actually cut his hair. That's just a minor nitpick, but when he cut his hair, he became a whole new character. In the Defenders, he was good. He worked better in team-ups. And then even in Luke Cage Season 2, that one episode, he was full Iron Fist then, working, like, being spiritual and everything like that. And I really enjoyed that little episode. And I also enjoyed his second season. I do not believe that his second season deserves the hate that it gets. But in his first season, it really didn't add much originality to his character, and they really didn't do his character justice, only to the fist. The fist is actually something that's been talked about throughout the entire season, throughout the first couple of episodes, and then when we actually see it, it doesn't really have that much of a payoff because he's just talking to people that don't even know anything about Kunlun and the fist, and there's no real payoff to it. So the white man coming back, like the white billionaire coming back home from like a time away as a superhero, it's been done many times before because we have Arrow, we have Batman Begins, and we have Iron Man, where they have this character that left a certain type of way, had a drastic change, and then came back a certain type of way. With Danny Rand, he was 9 years old, so it's kind of weird that we don't know his character beyond that, behind him being 9 years old. But I do like the fact that he has gotten cooler. He has the two dual Iron Fists now. I like the fact that he utilizes the Iron Fist a little bit more in the Defenders and his second season, which is very nice because in his first season it just showed him struggling with, his company and everything, and I guess that's great, but not at all interesting. And plus, he literally punched Luke Cage. That's cool. That's cool. Coming in at number 6 for me is Elektra from Daredevil. Now, in my original draft for this video, I was not going to include Elektra because at this moment, she died as a villain or anti-hero of some sorts. She wasn't really a hero. And to me, she wasn't really a hero. I always thought of her to be like the anti-hero / villain in Daredevil. So I did a little bit of research and I said, well, I'll add Elektra to the list. And really, Elektra just acted like this love interest to Matt Murdock, which is very nice. I really like the fact that Matt Murdock and Elektra actually has history from their college days, and I like the fact that they both do things differently. Like Elektra, she's like an assassin basically, and Matt Murdock, he's just a brute fighter. You know, he doesn't kill, but Elektra can kill, and she will kill if she wants to. I mean, that's just the way she is. But then just the way that she was handled in the Defenders, as her being like the Black Sky or the leader of the Hand or a part of the Hand or something like that, just kind of mixed up a big hodgepodge of her character arc, and not at all interesting or flowing very well. But once Matt Murdock kind of, turned her back to the good side, she died an acceptable death, and it was a great farewell. Kicking off my top 5 list is Luke Cage. Now, Luke Cage is easily the most charismatic character out of all of these guys. This character actually brings something in black people alike because, he's not a guy that wants to be this big superhero. He just wants to save his neighborhood. He just wants to save his hood. He just wants to save his community. And that's one of the things that I really like. I like his character in Jessica Jones because he has like this mysterious background. We know he's bulletproof. We know that he has indestructible, unbreakable skin. And then once he gets into his own show, like those first couple of episodes of his first season, just showed that this is actually a guy that just wants to save his community, as not trying to save the entire city or all of New York. He's just trying to save Harlem from corruption of drugs and this crime underground thing. And then we get to the last half of season 1 and then bringing us into season 2, where it just becomes this cartoonish show which didn't really have much to say, whereas the first 7 episodes had something to say about Luke Cage as a character and his show as of all. So when we get into the later half of season 1 and season 2 and we add in Diamond back and stuff like that, it kind of makes his show weak. So it kind of makes his character weak also. Don't get me wrong, the actor plays his character perfectly well, but this character had a lot of potential, and then he was just wasted and just left a sour taste in your mouth the way he ended off his show. Coming in 4th place for me has got to go to Colleen Wing. Now, Colleen Wing actually started off on the show as a cage fighter / dojo owner / relationships to the Hand. And that's one of the things that I really like about her character, is because she's actually connected to the Hand, and you actually see the Hand from the perspective of someone that is not evil and is not a part of their big evil scheme, their big evil plan. So that's one of the things that I really like about her. And also, she's just a skilled fighter. She's on the same level of Danny, probably even better than Danny. And one of the things that I really like about her in these shows is that she's actually the most interesting character, actually one of the most interesting characters inside of the entire Netflix Marvel universe, and the most interesting character in Iron Fist. And it's great that she actually got the power of the fist, because it would have made for a great character arc in season 3 of Iron Fist, but the show did get canceled. Though she is beautiful, her character arc is just that enjoyable. Before I get into my top 3, I'd like to take the time to say that if you guys are a fan of Marvel or Netflix Marvel, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, click that playlist up above for everything Marvel related that I have on my channel. Also, if you are a fan of the MCU, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, click that link in the description and in the comment section for my link to my regular podcast channel. It's a podcast, it's like 47 to 56 minutes long each episode. We're just doing an MCU rewatch, all the MCU movies, and we will be uploading the Avengers on Monday. So if you guys just want to go check out that podcast channel, please go check it out and subscribe. But if you don't want to subscribe, just stay on this channel and I will be uploading 2 to 3 minute clips of each podcast every Monday. So without further ado, let's get into my top 3. Kicking off my top 3 list is the Punisher, Frank Castle. Now, in Daredevil, I actually enjoyed his character because he had a nice little tease in there. He was full-on Punisher. He was just mowing down bad guys because he just wanted to punish them. But then we get inside of his own show, and we show a little bit more of his personality. We show is that this is a guy that's actually tortured, and he's just tortured by the thought of his family being killed over and over again. And you actually see that. You see him fall into this dark place where he just goes out punishing people just to kill them. And that's one of the things that I really like about his show, is that we actually get to see the blood. We actually get to see this guy tortured by the thought of his family being killed, and I love that. And it's also like his show is like a conspiracy theory. It's like these people actually set him up for his family to die. So I really enjoy his character in The Punisher, and it seemed like at the end of season 2, just that small little tease of him going full Punisher, just mowing down bad guys just for no reason, just to punish them. But then his show got canceled. Our runner-up at number 2 is Jessica Jones. Now, Jessica Jones is actually one of the darkest characters, actually the darkest characters out of all of these heroes. Now, she's not really a hero at the start. She's just this person trying to run away from her problems, trying to drink her problems away with meaningless sex and all of that stuff, because she's actually been tortured by abuse. She's actually a victim of rape and sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, and emotional abuse. And that's one of the things that I really like about her character, is because she actually has this dark history, this dark past, and she's just trying to run away from that aspect. This show actually shows it when a character that has so much power, super strength, she can jump really high, have so much power, and she loses control of that power, and she just can't seem to forgive herself for any of it. So that's one of the things that I really like, and it's very psychological to her. It's very broken to her, and you just take this broken character and make a great show out of it. So that's one of the things that I really like about her character, and the way that they ended off her character in the first season with her killing Kilgrave, and in the third season with her accepting who she is as this person that can actually do some good and turn into the hero that we all knew that she could be. Season 2 did take a turn for the worse, but I do believe season 3 brought it back up. But coming in at my number 1 has got to go to Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Now, you probably already guessed this. I am a big fan of Daredevil. I love his show. I love this one. I love this person as a character. I mean, I love this person as a character because he's just such a good character. And when you strip away all of the Man Without Fear, all of the Daredevil stuff like that, you actually see this person that grows throughout all of these shows. He grows from his first season where he rises as Daredevil, and then he grows in the second season and the Defenders as he falls as Daredevil, as he supposedly, quote unquote, dies with his love of his life, and he doesn't die, and he survives, and he wonders, why did he survive and she didn't? Why did he live and she didn't? So he would rather die as the devil than live as Matt Murdock. And then we see in season 3 the rise again of Daredevil, because he learns through his past mistakes, and that's one of the things that I really love about his character. A blind superhero that could go wrong in so many ways, but it goes right in so many ways in this show. They somehow crafted this perfect character to fit inside of this setting as someone that wants to save his city. He's not a billionaire. He's not a genius. He's just a guy that wants to do something good in his city, and he just wants to save his city, and he's the only one that can do that. So I love his character, his faith versus his brutality. He wants to punish criminals, but he also wants to believe in redemption. And that's one of the things that makes his character so good, is because he contrasts between him and the Punisher. The Punisher is just like Daredevil, he just had a bad day. And that's one of the things that Punisher had told Daredevil on the rooftop, is that Daredevil is just one bad day from becoming him, from becoming the devil, the literal devil, killing everyone. And he doesn't turn into the devil. He says to Kingpin at the end of season 3,
"No! God knows I want you, but you don't get to destroy who I am. You will go back to prison, and you will live the rest of your miserable life in a cage, knowing you'll never have Vanessa, that this city rejected you. It beat you. I beat you."
No one but Charlie Cox could have delivered those lines. No one. Because he is this character. And Matt Murdock changes throughout all of these seasons, throughout all of these shows, and it is spectacular to see him change. So Daredevil, Matt Murdock has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please note that everything that I said in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list, it was just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of every Marvel Netflix heroes ranked from worst to best, just like me, or you could just do your favorites. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.